Hey friends, this video is brought to you by the fact that my reading vlog deleted itself. Honestly, I am deeply agitated with CapCut right now. But that is neither here nor there. In today's video though, I will be giving you my 5-star lineup of the year so far. I'm actually so excited about making this video, even if it came under unfortunate circumstances. Um but these are in no particular order. I don't even have them in the order that I read them. These are just my slaying 5-star of the year so far. So let's get on with the video. So my first one, I actually don't own the physical copy yet. I will be making an order on Amazon. It is By the Orchid and the Owl. It's my most recent 5-star read. Everyone needs to read this book. Cohen and Raina. I simply can't get over it, and I will not be getting over it. Thank you and good day. The next book on my 5-star stack is One for My Enemy by Miss Olivia Blake. Okay, listen, I personally am of the opinion that the story of Romeo and Juliet is really overdone. Like, there's so many renditions, there's so many modernizations, it's almost required reading for every single high school that I know of. And honestly, there's better Shakespeare plays out there to read, like A Midsummer Night's Dream, so good. Hamlet, so good. Macbeth, oh, so good. There's so many more that I prefer to read. However, Miss Olivia Blake really did it with this one. This is a modern Romeo and Juliet retelling in modern day New York, so it's an urban fantasy. And it's the two families, the Fedorovs and the Antonovas and their witch families, and it's written in the vein of a play. Like the top of sections are like how scenes would be written in a script, and it's so good. Miss Olivia Blake put so much thought and effort into this, and I just think she executed it wonderfully, and I love this book so much. I don't talk about it as often as I do some of my other 5-star reads, but I think about it often. The next one on my stack is going to represent the whole series because the whole series is 5 stars. I rated the first to the fourth 5 stars. In fact, I rated one of them 6 stars. But I don't feel like holding up the whole series, so I'm just going to show the first book, The Natural series by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. Now, dear friends, if you just if you love YA thrillers, if you love good main character growth, if you love found family, if you love Spencer Reed, Criminal Minds, that type beat, you'll love this series. It's following Cassie Hobbs, and the naturals are people who basically have these natural abilities or heightened abilities that most people have but get diminished by being out and not honing them in their young years. So they're all like 17, 18 years old, and they just have these natural profilers, natural um emotion readers, a natural lie detector, and Sloane, my girl, she is the closest to Spencer Reed, and I love Sloane so much. It's such a good book. The first one was such a great starter, and then it just got better throughout the series. Like, I don't think I've loved a YA series, like thriller series, like I love these books. I'm not one for thrillers. I low key find them boring, but this had me on my toes even on the reread. And I knew what happened. Oh, it was so good. The next like 5 will surprise literally nobody. And you know what? I'm glad that I'm known and that I have a brand. The next one is Beach Read by Emily Henry. Um I feel overwhelmed that you exist. I'm just gonna let that sink in for you, and I'm just gonna hold this book here because I've talked about it like 8 times. And you know what? I'll talk about it again. I need everyone to read this book. I need everyone to love Emily Henry, and I need the special edition that just came out like yesterday. And I'm gonna leave it at that, so that way I don't bore you with my rambling for the fourth time today. The next one has made it on my list of favorite books of all time, as well as on my list for favorite book boyfriends of all time. That's Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. I actually read this on my Kindle because I didn't know if I would love it. And so this is my trophy. So I own it on both my Kindle and in physical. And I love this book so much. It's so good. Like, Justin is the perfect man. He made surveys for each date. That sounds weird out of context, but when you read it in context, it is the sweetest and kindest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. I love this man. I want this man for myself. I can't express how much I love him. But, anyways, go read it. That is technically a 6-star read. Okay. Oh. The next two are ones that honestly took me by surprise. I tried reading this first one and I DNF'd it at 7%. Yeah, I was not vibing with it. Did not party rock in the house tonight. And then I read it again because I was like, wow, literally everyone that I have similar taste with loves this. And I need it. I just need to try again. I'm here for the trying again. I can give a book 2 chances, whatever. And now it's one of my favorite books of all time. It is Magnolia Parks by Jessa Hastings. Okay, first of all, get on into this cover. Get into the cover. How many loves do you get in a lifetime? I'm simply deceased. Jessa's writing is gorgeous. If you haven't somehow heard of Magnolia Parks, think high society London socialites. So Gossip Girl meets London. And but it's nothing like that at all. Like it is and it isn't. It's romantic, but it's more contemporary fiction. Like this is definitely a character study of characters who have been through the trenches together and what that means when you grow up in trauma bonds and how you learn to love yourself through all of this. It's fantastic. I have no notes. I do understand where people are coming from where they're like this is terrible because it's toxic. It is toxic, it is manipulative, it is really really hard things that these characters are going through and really really hard decisions that they have to make, and they're making the same mistakes, but that's just because they're people. If you think of real people in these situations, like these are larger than life people in real situations, and so when you think of how you might react in their response, if you are a unhealthy trauma bonded person and you are deep in the trenches like they are at the beginning of this book, then you would probably make the same decision. Like every decision that's made, it's annoying, it's a little bit upsetting, but you also are like, I love them so much, I understand where they're coming from. It's just so good. And that leads me to Daisy Hates. If I love Magnolia Parks, I love Daisy Hates even more. I am a Daisy and Christian girly till the day I die. Also, cover? Moment for the cover? Moment for the cover. Also, little Easter eggs on every single Magnolia Parks book, like the MPU universe, is crazy. Jessa, I love these covers. Why did we have to make shoes? Why did we have to put shoes? Like I get it, but I don't. But yeah, I love this book. I no guns at the dinner table. Period. I know your freckles too. I'm about to start crying. Okay. The reason I love Daisy Hate so much more is because this is gonna sound really, really, really weird. If you've read these books, this is gonna sound really weird. I deeply relate to Daisy and Christian as characters. Now, what I mean by that is the pain that they are going through, the self doubt that they go through, the trauma that they go through. Theirs is on a much, much larger scale because these are much larger than life people. But I felt that pain. I've been through that. And so to see them going through that, not only with themselves, but together, is really Cut Me and I Bleed Him, Magnolia Parks, Cut Me and I Bleed Daisy and Christian. Yeah. The next one will surprise literally no one. I don't even have to talk about it that much. It's This Is How You Lose the Time War. I originally read this in 2023. This is the only reread I'm including in this video. I have a lot of 5-star reads from last year that I reread this year, but I'm not including them. But I am including this one because I will never shut up about this book. This is the best book I've ever read in my entire life. I understand it's confusing. I'm trying not to be offended when people don't like it. I simply am just like, if you don't like it, remember I have good taste. The next one, I only have the physical copy of the first one, but I read both the first and the second one. The third one comes out in March, and I need it to be March like yesterday. I'm so excited. That is Legendborn by Tracy Dion and Bloodmarked by Tracy Dion. Think King Arthur, think Secret Society, think YA urban fantasy, think strong female main character. Just think the one of the best books ever written, and just it talks about race and like racial issues in such a hard-hitting way to where it's still digestible. Does that make sense? Like I own a book. It's called I'm gonna insert a picture of it. It's called White Rage, and it talks about racial issues in the United States, obviously, and like that's a really good nonfiction for racial issues. But like this is fiction, it's fantasy, but it hits racial issues hard on the head, especially in the deep south, and it's so good. Like I don't know what Tracy Dion did, but I hope she gets every single award for this one. And this needs to become a modern day classic because of what it did for one, the King Arthur retelling, and two, for what it does just in general as a YA fantasy book. I love that book so much, and I hope that everyone else loves that book. And then this one is also one I don't have a physical copy of, but it doesn't make me love it any less, and that is The Right Move by Miss Liz Tomford. I need everyone to get on the internet, on their Kindles, go to Kindle Unlimited and download The Right Move by Liz Tomford. I can live without Mile High. I actually DNF Mile High, but that's okay. I haven't read the rest of the series, so far this is my favorite. But The Right Move by Liz Tomford. Ryan Shea. That is my whole argument. Ryan Shea. Is it the best piece of literature ever written on planet Earth? Absolutely not. However, I love that man. And it gave me the 5-star tingles. And I have no notes. Yeah, I love the book. Everyone should read it like yesterday. Thank you and good day. All right, so I think that is the end of my current lineup of 5-star reads. I love all of these books. There are some that I will take some notes on. There are. And there are some that if you don't like them, don't tell me about it. Okay. Reminder that reading is subjective, that everyone's taste is different. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a comment down below of your recent 5-star reads. And yeah, I love you guys so much. Bye.